I've officially started recording. I got my mic all set up. If your neighbors are talking, politely turn to them and go, shh, please. If you are the one talking, heed the shush. Okay. In order for us to get this project template functional, we need to do a concept very common in the web development world, which is called forking, right? When you meet a fork in the road, you're presented with a choice, right? You go one way or the other. The same is true for different versions of different things on GitHub, okay? So our first step today is to go to this resource number 1 right here, and we're going to pull our version, or the one that we want to keep locally. We're going to fork the code onto our machines. That's the first step. It's basically a fancy way of saying downloading, but there's a specific way, or there's a specific reason you would say fork instead of download. Like when you take a fork in the road, you can take another one to go back onto the original path, which is GitHub's main job. But anyways, for us to actually do today, you want to click on that first link and you'll see a link or a GitHub page that says class project template. You don't have to, you shouldn't have to sign in because we're just downloading a file. But we want to get this one right here that says sourcecode.zip. We're going to download that and it's going to come into our computers just like any other zip that we're used to. Okay? I'm going a little fast because I'm going to help you guys one-on-one with this. So if you're not keeping up with me, that's okay. I will make sure we get all of these steps completed. Okay? We're going to save that, and you want to save it somewhere that syncs. So your OneDrive, or if you're using another personal storage drive, maybe a, what do they call those? USB flash drive, that kind of stuff. You want it to be somewhere safe. So for example, I have a web design folder. I'll actually go and delete this guy real quick. Pretend you didn't see that. I have a class project folder, or a web design folder right here. And I'm going to leave the file name as a default. Click save. Why is it unavailable? What do you mean it's unavailable? Okay, it already exists. Yeah, I'm going to replace it. So this is a super, super quick download because it's a very lightweight file. If you look, I think it's only 22 kilobytes. Okay, it's like, I can't do the math right now, but it's 1,000 kilobytes to 1 megabyte. So it's a little guy. Okay. What we need to do next is extract that file. We need to unzip it so we can access the contents within. We can do that by going to OneDrive. I'm going to find my web design folder because it's in 2025-26, semester 2. Here's web design. And then we want to look for the one that says release. Let me make this a little bit larger so you can see. We want to find the one that says, let's go even larger, release. Okay, this guy right here. Remember, because it has a zipper, the files are contained within, but we can't access them until we unzip it, just like your backpack. Okay, so when you zip something up, you keep it in there, but it stops being accessible. A quick way to extract something is to have it selected, like I have here, and then with your middle finger, right-click and drag, then let go, and it can automatically... Oh, wait, shoot, we were going to do something different. My bad. We're doing an extraction in a different way. I just remembered how the new way we're going to do it, so forget that. Double-click on the zipped folder, and your computer can't access this, but if we move it to a spot, or it can't access your zipped backpack, but if we move it to a spot where it can, it becomes a lot easier instead of having to unzip it every single time. Anyways, so if you double click on the zipped version, you'll see there's another file without a zipper that's named exactly the same way. If we double click on that, it looks a lot more like a configured root folder, okay? We are going to take this one, the one level deeper, not the zipped up one, but inside of the zipped folder. And we're going to click and drag that up on our path right here until it says something like copy to downloads or copy to web design or something like you can see on my screen right here. Okay. When I let go, it's not going to really change anything on our screen. Besides, when we go back to web design, there's now going to be a class project template release right here. Okay. This is very, very similar to extracting the way we were going to, but it's a little bit faster and it skips a step later on, so it's a little bit more efficient. Okay. If I double click, you can see it looks like a normal root folder, and I can access the specific things inside of here if I need to, but now it doesn't have the zipper. Okay. We can now actually safely delete the zipped up version. Anytime you need to recover it, you can, but because we have gotten what we needed out of that zipped up backpack, we no longer need the backpack. Okay. That's the first step. is getting into your OneDrive, into somewhere safe, this class project template release with no zipper on it. Okay? So that's the first place I want us to start. If you've been following along with me, if you could double click to have it. So the next step, if you're playing Snake full screen, don't be. Point at somebody who's playing Snake full screen and tell them not to. Okay, cool. All right, so what we're going to do next is, since we're still in the file window, remember yours might look a little bit different from mine, we know how to open a folder in VS Code. I'm going to show you a shortcut on how to do that quickly, because as you might have figured out with these different types of design processes, if you're full screen solitaire as well, you should not be doing that at the moment. There'll be time, just not right now. When you have your your file explorer in front of you, you can first select one, just like we did to move it, and then right click, and all the way down at the bottom here is an open in terminal option, second to last, okay? Is anybody seeing, if they're following along with me, that open in terminal option? Is it popping up? So you select it first, then you right click, and then you highlight down here, open in terminal. It's the second to last one. You seen it? Okay, cool.
What do I do? What do I do?
If you're not quite there yet, it's okay. We're working in phases. It's okay. I'm going to open this in my terminal. You can do this as well. This is not a terminal that's blocked by your system. You need to put in a very, very simple command. The very, very simple command is code, C-O-D-E, space, period. And if you do code period, then hit enter. It's going to automatically open the correct folder for you in VS Code. This should work on any folder, even if it has code or not, but for our cases, we want it to be opened in VS Code.
Yours didn't work.
It didn't work?
And that might be because it's in OneDrive. I'm not sure.
Why did mine not work?
It opened the wrong folder in terminal. That's the only path that's there.
Yeah. Okay, hold on. Maybe mine didn't work. So this one's into V1.0. Can I CD? Huh? Yeah. Can I change my disk?
Yeah, you can go CD space and copy your OneDrive file explorer.
Okay, hold on. We're troubleshooting live.
You gotta put it in quotes.
Oh, okay. Here, I'm going to put my cursor at the other end here. Let's see if this works. No.
You just open it in VS Code.
Okay, so because we had them saved in OneDrive, it's going to be mean. So this will work for local files.
It worked for me.
It worked for you? Okay. So sometimes it'll work and sometimes it won't. If you want a surefire way to make it work, we'll do it the old-fashioned way by opening up VS Code, then File, Open Folder. And you do want to open the templates. We're not quite done with the templates. We got a little bit more work to do on our specific computers, and then you can make copies of the template for whatever we're doing. Okay? So I'm going to go File, Open Folder. I'm going to go to wherever I saved it. In my case, it's in 2526, Semester 2 Web Design. Here's my class project template release right here. I'm going to select it, and it's going to open up just like you saw, like we're used to, and like you saw on my screen, with all of our stuff on the side here. Now we do NPM, right? Okay, so this is the next thing I'm going to check for, is that everybody opens your class project template release in VS Code. We got like one or two more steps, and then we can copy this template as much as needed. You can use it outside of class. You can use it for whatever you want to do. However, we need to get our library installed on our computer in order for it to not be super angry. So for example, if you go into the the app folder and you look at page.tsx, it's going to be all red because we're missing libraries. Anyways, your thing right now is just open this new template in VS Code. And then we'll do as a class, the last little step in order to. Last thing we'll need to do. The reason we're doing this in this process is because we should only have to set it up this one time. Then in the future, you just copy the folder, the whole template folder, rename it to what you're working on, and it will automatically have everything that you need, at least at the default type setting. Okay? So the last step that we need to do, that Jake and I are going to be checking for, is we need to get into the terminal and install our NPM dependencies. We do that by looking for the button that says terminal. Mine is hidden because I have my screen zoomed in a little bit. And we're going to create a new terminal. Now, it's very, very super important before you start typing any code that you change this to say command prompt. Okay, this is an opportunity to, if you're following along with me, check your partner or ask your partner to check yours, make sure that it looks right. You want to click this small triangle until you see this command prompt icon like so, and then it should automatically add these little 2 tabs that are vertical down in the corner here. We want to be in the one that says CMD, okay? So you want to check, before I show you the command, it's 4 letters. It's a very, very easy command. Check that your neighbors have this. Check that they're in the correct type of terminal in order to install our dependencies. I'm going to shut the door, and then we'll move on to the next
Wait, what do I do? Wait. Ellery. Ellery, you don't have it. Ellery, it's because you're playing Snake. Yeah. You're not.
And then click the small triangle. Switch it to command prompt. Okay, so click on your 3 dots. Click on your small triangle. Terminal. Command prompt. And then you click small triangle. Yeah.
Yeah, that has separation. No, I'm cooking.
And then the little arrow next to the plus sign.
Because that's how. Snail.
Okay, command prompt. Yes.
Yes, bro.
Yeah, so you go.
Wait, yeah.
No, you're good. You're at the right spot. So if you click new terminal, it just will kind of add another. Okay, yep, you're good. All right, cool. We're all in command. All right, it's time for your 4-letter it's time for your 4-letter piece of code. All right. Whoa, Claire Gaffney, is that a full screen snake I'm seeing? Well, okay, so what am I looking at then?
It's.
Ellery, will you close Claire's tab, please? Okay, or you can close it. Thank you. Okay, your 4-letter command is very, very simple. It is the letters npm space, if I could type, good gravy, npm space, and then the letter I. So when you do that, you're going to see this little loading wheel appear, and a whole bunch of stuff is going to happen for a second that will add everything needed for this template to be functional. The command is npm, like National Park Monument, and then the letter I, like I am in web design. You're going to see this spinning wheel spin for a little while. NPM. NPM. Okay, so now we're going to be Jake and I are going to check and make sure that this little loading wheel is happening. It's going to think for a minute because it's got a lot of stuff to grab. NPM I. NPM space I. You can tell that mine is finished, and what I've been checking for with Jake is this set of words right here. You no longer see the spinning wheel, and you see something that says like vulnerabilities, or something that says packages, or somebody says something that says audited, or whatever. The PM in NPM stands for package manager, okay? Kind of like it would be pretty hard to order stuff from the internet if there weren't warehouses of everything stored in one spot, right? The same is going to be true for how we build our websites. When you make a purchase online, you don't buy the entire stock of the website. I mean, you could if you wanted to, if you were a quadrillionaire. But point is, you only grab what you need. And each time you make a different order, you're pulling from the same warehouse. The NPM library that we just installed serves as that warehouse. If you remember back to a while ago when we looked at Hero, was it Hero UI, I think it's called? Where we looked at all those components, all those pieces all of that is stored within this kind of thing right here. Okay? You're also going to see, now that we've done this one time, we shouldn't have to do it again because it's installed on our computers and gets updated if it needs to. If we didn't do this, downloading these templates would have taken like 5 times as long because it has to pull everything in individually and then unzip everything after that. Okay? The last thing. This is a new command. Instead of going to the debug menu to start your code, because we're transitioning towards writing like this, a new code you're going to be using a lot is npm run dev. All right? And it's three words technically. So npm is a word, run is obviously a word, and dev is another word short for developer. So when we go npm space run space dev, you can see where I'm typing because it's down here in the terminal. When I do that, it's going to think for a second, and then it's going to say ready right down here, and a couple things on Next.js, okay? This has, in essence, kind of replaced what we used Live Server for. I don't know if we use Live Server much in this class. We used it a lot in old web design. But now we have a small little server running locally on our computer. That means when we make changes to our site, we can see them reflected instantly. Okay? How do you access that server though? Let's find out. I'm going to close some of these tabs so that it's a little bit easier to see. If you simply click on this local host or this http 10.1.49.172:3000, that's a bunch of mumbo jumbo. That just means if you hold control and click on it, it's going to open up your code in a website. So we're going to, I can't talk. It's going to open up. It's also going to do a bunch of little note-taking type things. Let me split my screen here. My screen where it says Discount Time Machines is being run off the same computer that holds the code, making these computers, while we're working, both the server and the client. Okay? Those are fancy words to say who's using which end of the computer. When you are using your phone on an app, you're the client. The data that's stored somewhere else is the server. In this case, this computer's doing both. So for example, if I wanted to change this little part right here where it says get started by editing app page TSX, I can change the code of this span to say Blakeney P5 example, and then when I hit Control S, it'll automatically update and I don't have to rerun my whole terminal every time. This also technically functions if I wanted to look at this site on my phone. I could type in this whole web address and see if it comes up. So we're about to find out together if it works. All right. So the code is, let's just go http // It's not the most fun. This is why we use Vercel for hosting, because it's quite a bit easier. So 10.1.49.172 with a mask on 3000. And then when I hit go, it should take me to Discount Time Machines.
I don't think it will.
Let's find out real quick. Fingers crossed. Because it's just a local. It's not actually like pushed out.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if your phone's on the guest Wi-Fi too, it's isolated from the other device.
Yeah, then it is. Okay, never mind. That didn't work, but it will once we get back into Vercel. Anyways. Okay. It's been a lot of information today, so I'm going to just save this for now. When I'm ready to... Hold on. Pause. When I'm ready to be done writing my code, when I'm leaving class, when I'm taking a break from it, when it's not working and I want to throw a brick through the computer, all normal reasons to end your server. It's just Control-C, right? Okay. Back in the terminal, this time you'll notice it says node instead of command prompt. We are in a version that says node. All I have to do is hold the Control key and press C. And you're going to see it says right here, terminate batch job. And then it gives me an option for Y or N. Any guesses on what Y might stand for? Yes, correct. Any guesses on what N might stand for? Exactly. It's no. So if I hit Y and then hit enter, my site should go away here in a second. If not, once I refresh, because the server's been shut down, much like if you host your own Minecraft or Rust or DayZ servers or Arc, very similar kind of process, Once you turn off the server, it stops being accessible. The very last thing I'll need to show you, because now that we have forked our code off of GitHub, extracted the proper root, added our necessary NPM libraries, and practiced starting and stopping a local server, there's one other thing we need to do, which is actually copy the code that we need for May. Okay? Which is very simple, and it happens all within your File Explorer. So I'm going to open up my File Explorer. Instead of working all the time in the templates, I want to make a copy of the template and then adjust the copy, right? Kind of like how when your teachers give you tests in other classes, they don't give you all 100% the original tests that they put together. They make one test and then they make copies for us to use. Okay? Same thing is happening here. It's very simple. You can Control C, Control V right here in the option here. It's going to be quite a bit bigger now because now it has the libraries installed. And then once it finishes, let's see how long it's going to take. It's thinking. I'll do this in real time. Once this is done, we're just going to rename it to have the proper, like, my name, my specific template. We'll call it for May. This says it's going to take about 3 minutes, so we'll wait for that 3 minutes. In the meantime, while we're waiting, you can do other stuff. You can follow along with me. You can chill. I'm going to leave the video running so you know exactly how long it's going to take. So right now, we're making a copy of the folder we made because now it has the correct. So that just paste it back in. Yeah. Control press C. And then press Y. And then Control C, Y. And then it's going to go forever.
Oh my god.
But that's what we're
Can I close this tab or no?
You can't close that tab. You can close the tab.
Okay. I'm just gonna keep
Hi, I'm
going.
very good. I never see it. Okay. So, did you were able to keep like all the okay, let me go close my video. Hold on, wait. Get that away. I'll tell you how. No, we have 30 minutes left.
Oh wait,
Yeah, it's block day. It's okay. All right, so I see hands. Give me just a sec. You'll see. This is important. I'm gonna go through in the recording and speed all that up. So you're gonna see now I have a class project template copy. That is going to be our main May project folder. And any assignments that we do in May are going to stay inside of that one folder. Okay, so it's all in one spot. It's easier to sync. It's easier to deploy. We need to rename it first, though. So click on it, right click on it, and look for the rename icon. You want to just change some of the specifics. For example, our class is now P5.
Mr. Blakey,
Yes. Huh?
I beat Snake.
Congratulations. So what you want to do is change, mine's being really mean, change the word class to just your class period, so P5. The project is May, and the other piece of info you want to put on there is your last name, so I'm going to type out Blakeney, and then hit enter, and then that's what I'm going to open every time I get into VS Code, and we're going to do specific stuff inside of there as needed. Okay? So that's your last step that I need you to do for this check-in process, or not check-in process, making sure everybody has the stuff they need process. And then Thursday, Friday, we'll get into page.tsx a little more and start seeing how you can make games with this language and with this framework. Okay, I have a video to edit.
Wait, they live in that market?
Yeah, you have a